Okay, so hope you can hear me here on Zoom. Great, I can see there's already a participant. Let me quickly share that on Facebook, and then we can start. Okay, so I hope you had an amazing weekend. Most South Africans, I assume, had an amazing weekend with South Africa winning the World Championships. So that's absolutely great news. So what do we do today is, see, step-by-step tips for your business plan. Okay. Now it wants me also to add a title here. Give me a second. So yes, I was away for a weekend. That was also really, really nice. I needed a little bit of a break, so we went to Salt Rock down to the Indian Ocean. I'm always still blown away. Indian Ocean sounds for me so exciting, so far away, and it's here in front of my doorsteps. I still can't believe that. Something what I'm absolutely enjoying. So went to the beach, a nice walk at the beach. The water was still too cold for me. So that was definitely, although lots of people were still were already in the sea and enjoyed the nice waves. But for me, that was too cold. Okay, so let's see, that's here on Funding Connection. I just need to double check. There's a live video, that's already good news. I just need to see if the sound is working there. Yep, sound is working. Yeah, great. Okay, so, and I see there are 2 people in Facebook already. Great, and welcome. We also have a couple of people in Zoom. So that is absolutely great. So let's see, what do we do today is I want to share some tips and tricks if you want to draft your own business plan, okay, and it's totally okay, do that. But I want you to know a couple of things. So I opened my document so that I don't forget anything or what I want to share with you. Okay. So number 1 is usually please make sure that on your business plan you have all your contact details. Yeah, I've seen business plans and there was no telephone number, there was no email address on it. And if you want to apply for funding or if you want to give the business plan to somebody, even to your supplier, to your suppliers, to your potential customers, or maybe even to your landlord, for them it's easy to, oh yes, that sounds interesting, I like that, now they have on the document your contact details, instead of thinking, okay, so where's the email, where's the rest of the documentation, so if they send it, make it always as easy as possible. I highly recommend writing the executive summary really at the end, okay? Draft the business plan first, compile all the information, and then you think about what is really interesting for the person I want to give this business plan, what do they need to know, yeah? What are the facts? And most of the time, specifically if you want to apply for funding, what is critical and the information is, what product do you want to offer, maybe a little bit, 1 or 2 sentences about who you are. Okay, please don't repeat all the information again and again and again in your business plan. if you want to apply for funding, how much funding you need, how much collateral do you offer, and then also about the profitability of your business, so that the financier can see, okay, they are able to repay the loan in 3, 5, 7 years. Yeah. We also always write down some objectives, some key success factors, why you will be successful, values, key values of the companies. Also, some financiers wanted to see that. Let's be honest, it's not critical. If you don't write that down, that doesn't mean you will not receive the loan. But it's nice for them to know also your vision statements and your description of what you really want to achieve. So then there are some keys to success, what we are also including, although again, this is not critical. What is critical is the company ownership, okay? Is it a PTY, is it a CC, is it a sole prop? Who are the shareholders, names, ID numbers needs to be in there. For South Africa, it's also always important to know exactly which of the shareholders are historically disadvantaged, so that can sometimes be important depending on the financier. So if you have a history, okay, if this is for an expansion, I would always include also your company history, just writing down what you achieved already. If you are a startup, then there is of course no company history. Maybe you have achieved already things, you can put that there. If you want to buy an existing company, this is now the one topic where you need to write a little bit about the existing company. Latest annual sales, what is their profit, what is the product, the reason why the existing owner wants to sell either 100% or smaller shares. Okay, so that gives the financier a nice idea, and for you it's also clear about the business plan is about, if you want to buy an existing business, is about how you will run the future, this existing business. Company history is all about the old owner and how he ran the business. Yeah, so that you separate that clearly and you are not confusing any person who reads your business plan. I've read a couple of business plans, and that was obviously really, really difficult for people to separate that clearly and structure that clearly and get that also across in their business plan. Okay, so next topic is, of course, product and services. What do you want to offer? If you are a manufacturer, you of course also need to include the manufacturing process. The layout of the plant needs to be in there. They want to see, at the end of the day, they want to see, okay, you now want to manufacture, I don't know, 10,000 school shoes a week. And now you want to do that in a 100 square meter place. These are all tips and tricks to make sure that you see when you have this big puzzle, that you see, that doesn't fit. Okay, I calculate here 100 square meter factory, but I want to produce so many shoes. My equipment is already needs 1,000 square meters of space. That means your factory space needs to be bigger, number one. And you also, of course, it will be more expensive than maybe you expected or assumed. Yeah, so all these things will then fit together, and you need to make sure that it makes sense and is not, how do you say that, contradictive? I'm not sure if that's the right word, but you know what I mean, yeah? So we talked about the production operation processes. Suppliers are important. If you want to manufacture, if you are a wholesaler, you need to make sure that you find reliable suppliers for whatever you need, even with your equipment, which suppliers you will have there. And sometimes you even need some agreements with them because you want to be sure that they are deliver on time the products you really need for your manufacturing processes, for your retail shop. Yeah. Okay, and then of course, again, key financial objectives, absolutely important. So how much turnover you are expecting, how much gross profit, net profit, interest rate you are paying per year. So have all these information that comes out of your financial forecast. I always recommend to put that also in the written business plan. Because we all know there are different personalities out there, okay, and some people like to read and have that in text form presented. Other people like me, I just see the Excel spreadsheet and I know exactly what usually I should be able, let's say, state like this, should be able to read the financial forecast so that I know exactly what people want to do. And I can quite quickly grasp, okay, this is a profitable business. Location, absolutely important. Please make sure there is a physical address somewhere mentioned. It's clear if you want to lease it, if you own it. And we need now to know, the financier needs now to know exactly where you want to be. Okay, so because otherwise they say, oh, it's not a problem, you get the machines for your 10,000 school shoes a month, and then you everything is ordered, and then you have no place for it, and you don't know where to set it up. Yeah. Pricing, of course, you need to be absolutely clear about your costing. How much does it cost you to sell this one product, even if it is a service? Think about how much does it cost you to offer the specific service. Think about how many hours you or your staff members will need to be able to deliver that service. That gives you a nice idea if you make a profit with your business or not. Let me tell you, I've seen that so many times. People say, I don't know, I'm not making any money at the end of the day. What's the problem? We did easy costing and pricing calculation, and I just needed to ask the right question. So the business owner always had the information at hand, but they didn't compile it properly so that it was clear. And that was absolutely clear. This branch is only making a loss. Why do you want to keep it? Do you think you will be able to increase the sales there or not? If not, close it down. Yeah. Or I also remember that was a factory. They were selling some cookies. Oh, this is our best seller. We can't close it down, shut that down. I said, but you need to, because this is why your sales is increasing and your turnover each and every month, but you're making bigger and bigger loss each and every month because you are manufacturing it for 12 Rand and you are selling it for 10 Rand. That makes no sense. Yeah, this is absolutely critical. Next, what we do is we also always have a look at the South African economy. We updating it every 3 months. It's usually between 7 and 8 pages because if you are here in South Africa, you are definitely moving in this environment. So, and that's why it makes sense to really talk about it and think about it. And okay, is it a booming economy? Is it a declining economy? What are the parameters in which you are handling your own business? Of course, then absolutely important, your company's industry in South Africa or your company's industry also in, sorry, I forgot to switch my phone off. So your company's industry, it's in South Africa, but it's also in your area. Sometimes we need to really go down to, I don't know if it's in Limpopo or even smaller in some municipalities, depending also in the industry you are in. Yeah. Then of course your target market. Be absolutely clear who are your ideal clients. Something what I'm when I'm working here one-on-one with my mentees is that I want them to be sure, think about with whom do you love to work with, yeah? And these are the people you need to target. Of course, they also need to be able to want and need your services, willing to pay for it, willing to pay a proper price for it, but still be clear about it, because that will later on also make your marketing efforts so much easier. And you will attract people you really love to work with and not the difficult clients. Competitors, of course, you always need to think about who are my competitors, regional, maybe even in South Africa. For some industries, it's even international, who are my competitors. Yeah? So think about them, do some research, maybe also their pricing. You can, and if it's international, sometimes it's also nice to just spy on them and come up with some good marketing ideas or strategies. Yes, that can make your life a little bit easier. And then of course you need to think about what is my advantage in comparison to my competitors. SWOT analysis is you need to think about your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay, that's individual for the company, and the opportunities and the threats are usually for your whole industry and market you are in. Yeah, it's the opportunities and threats are not only for you, but they are for everybody who is in this specific market. Then you need to think about your distribution, your marketing strategy. You have a marketing plan, think about how you want to do that. Please don't come up with the billboards and TV ads and all these things. Make it a little bit more realistic, and really, because you know exactly who is your ideal client, where do you find them, what strategy makes sense without burning millions of rands on some advertising. So, and then next important thing, management. Okay, so who is the management? What expertise, what skills do you have? What skills maybe do you need to hire? Okay, and if there is key personnel and skills you need to run your business, then you need to have already some specific person in mind. This is what financiers want to see. Yeah. And then of course also not only about the management, but also how many staff do you need? Are they skilled staff available, or do you need to train them before you even start production? What can always be a little bit of a problem, because it takes a couple of weeks until people are really, sometimes even longer, depending on the complexity of what your people need to do. Okay, so and then think about it. Okay, who do I really need? And keep in mind, of course, you offer jobs but this is still a business, and just offering somebody a job and getting paid for work he or she is not capable of doing makes no sense. Yeah, make sure you have skilled staff available, specifically if you are a startup. Honestly, you can't afford to hire people 3 months upfront and train them. Yeah, that is too expensive. And then, of course, the financial projections. Absolutely important that you have income statements and cash flow forecast, balance sheet. We have, I think, 20 pages in our Excel spreadsheet. The investment, salary and wages, the loan amortization. We have lots of ratios, break-even analysis, and all these things in our Excel spreadsheet. But if you do that on your own, you don't need that so complicated. You need cash flow, balance sheet, and income statement. And there are some free Excel spreadsheets available. Have a look around and see if you can find something where you think, okay, I can work with it. Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, I hope that gave you a nice overview what definitely needs to be covered in the business plan, and it helped you. Let me see. Here is Zoom. There are at the moment no question. Let me go to Facebook. There are also no questions this morning. Okay, everybody celebrated too long last night. The winner of the championships. Okay, so, but you know that if you want to ask us questions, if you are in Zoom, great. Or later on also in YouTube, you can send us an email. Zoom people have the email address in any case. On YouTube, you can go to our website. There are the live chat, but you also can ask us questions. You can even set up appointments, whatever you want to do there. And if you're on Facebook, you can message us. We have somebody who is able to answer all your questions in messages, and will definitely be able to guide you if you have some questions regarding your business plan. If you have already an existing business plan, you can email it to us. And we are more than happy to just review it and say, okay, it's in order, you can apply for funding with it, or we can say, we definitely need to amend it. We can also only do your financial forecast for you if you want us to do that. I've done it also a couple of times where people had an amazing written part, but definitely struggled with the financial forecast. Or if you want us to do the full business plan for you, we are of course also there for you. It's not a problem. Contact us via Messenger on Facebook, via email if you are listening on Zoom, and if you're later on listen on YouTube, go to our website www.fundingconnection.co.za, and there are lots of opportunities for you to get in contact with us, and we will then be able to advise and help you. Okay. Great. So I wish you an absolutely successful new week, and we will see us next Monday again. Okay. Take care. Bye.